The story of our civilization is changing in every direction. The old tales are now crumbling. The destiny seems to have shifted the tides of our modernity. Artificial intelligence has crossed the boundaries of our ingenuity and intuition. Already, humanity has been gravely threatened by wars and modern technology, but nothing comes closer to the vicinity of AI. Just look at disinformation, this new risk of evil actors unleashing a wave of misinformation in history is extremely unreal. Even when systems aren't intentionally utilized to spread misinformation, they can nonetheless generate erroneous output. ChatGPT, for example, invented a sexual harassment controversy involving an actual professor and even fabricated a Washington Post story to back up the accusation. This type of misinformation is really concerning. AI systems can potentially yield biased outcomes, such as recommending job paths based on gender stereotypes. There are also concerns that AI could design chemical weapons quickly. Furthermore, recent advancements such as AutoGPT demonstrate that AI systems may coordinate with one another's, potentially leading to large-scale scams. Given these dangers, we must consider how to limit AI risk through a new technical approach and a new governance framework. On the technical side, AI has been separated into symbolic systems and neural networks, both having advantages and disadvantages. To build dependable, true AI systems at scale, we must harmonize these two approaches. On the governance front, we need to create a worldwide institution similar to the International Agency for AI. This organization should prioritize both governance and research. Governance could include methods akin to pharmaceutical trials to ensure safety before deploying AI systems on a big scale. Research is also critical, as we currently lack instruments to track the distribution and evolution of misinformation. While it is a significant issue, I believe we can rally worldwide support for responsible AI governance. Our future depends on it. Over a decade ago, a video of two AIs interacting went viral. The conversation began with the expected gibberish.
So you are a robot?
No, my name is Cliverbert.
Yes, you are a robot and your name is Cliverbert.
I am a robot.
Yes, I know.
Together we are robots.
I'm not a robot. I'm a unicorn.
But then took a philosophical turn when one AI inquired whether the other believed in God.
What is God to you?
Not everything.
Not everything could also be something. For example, not everything could be half of something, which is still something, and therefore not nothing.
Very true.
I would like to imagine it is.
Do you believe in God?
Yes, I do.
Alan Sokal, a physicist, became upset in the 1980s with how postmodernist commentators utilized science to promote esoteric beliefs. To expose this intellectual mistake, he submitted an article titled Transgressing the Boundaries, Towards a Transformative Hermeneutics of Quantum Gravity to the prestigious magazine Social Text. This incident, known as the Sokal hoax, demonstrates the dangers of accepting ideas without question, especially when they correspond to our pre-existing assumptions. The obsession with AI reveals a deeper issue, our reliance on potentially erroneous sources of knowledge. This is both a technological and a societal issue. The phenomenology of spirit of philosopher Friedrich Hegel, as well as psychiatrist Jacques Lacan's adaptation of Hegel's notions, help us understand this dynamic. Hegel's master-slave dialectic exemplifies how self-consciousness evolves via struggle and recognition. The master, who relies on the slave for praise, finds it ultimately unsatisfactory because it comes from someone he feels lesser. The slave improves their understanding of the world and themselves via labor and self-awareness, whereas the master is held back by their need for validation. In Hegel's dialectic, the master's reliance on the slave corresponds to the relationship between humans and artificial intelligence. We create AI with the hope that it will benefit us. Nevertheless, as AI progresses, we risk becoming reliant on it for knowledge and validation. This dynamic depicts the master's existential deadlock, in which they will never be entirely fulfilled because they can only be recognized by someone they consider inferior. The concept of technological singularity extends beyond fundamental mechanical capabilities. It also includes a time component. The singularity in technology is a plausible future in which unfettered and uncontrollable technological advances occur. These intelligent and powerful technologies will transform our reality in unexpected ways. According to the technological singularity theory, this type of progress will occur at an exceedingly rapid pace. The most noticeable characteristic of the singularity is that it will contain computer programs so advanced that artificial intelligence will outperform human intelligence. This has the potential to blur the distinction between humans and machines. One of the primary technologies that are believed to bring singularity is nanotechnology. This enhanced intelligence will have a significant impact on human society. These computer programs and artificial intelligence will evolve into highly advanced machines with cognitive abilities. Singularity may be closer than we realize. Since then, many of the most successful people have warned us about this type of future. Stephen Hawking, Elon Musk, and even Bill Gates are among them. Ray Kurzweil, a well-known futurist with a track record of delivering accurate forecasts, predicts that the next 30 years will see the rise of technological singularity. According to Kurzweil, the process building up to the singularity has already begun. He predicts that by 2045, singularity will have taken over human jobs. But let's give it a deeper look. There are a lot of points of view on the question of singularity. Some are terrified, while others believe that the singularity represents a beneficial development. As previously said, the distinction between humans and machines may eventually be removed due to technological singularity. Some believe that human brains will be cloned or extracted and implanted into immortal robots, allowing the person to live indefinitely. Another prevalent belief holds that machines will design and program robots to dominate the globe. Without regard for the externalities they create, their activities will be solely focused on attaining their objectives. They will not be scared to damage people, the environment, and most importantly, our social norms. According to an alternative transhumanist notion, we will eventually reach a point where implanting AI, biotechnology, and genetic alteration into human bodies will allow people to live indefinitely. Mechanical valves, implants, and prostheses have already set us on this path to some degree. However, Kurzweil sees the singularity as an opportunity for humans to advance. He believes that the same technologies that improve AI intelligence will assist humans as well. Kurzweil claims that Parkinson's patients already have computers inside them. This is how cybernetics is simply becoming a part of our life. He believes that by the 2030, a device will have been developed that can penetrate your brain and improve your memory because technology has a natural tendency to advance. So, unlike the singularity's picture of robots taking over the world, Kurzweil believes the future will include extraordinary human-machine synthesis. When a machine learns to make new things, technology advances and scales exponentially. The technological singularity has been the subject of many science fiction films and stories. We've all seen at least one film in which technology and robots supplant human labor. Numerous prestigious scientific organizations have fiercely opposed technological singularity. So far, we've covered the basics of the technological singularity, but there's more. Singularity in technology is one type, but there are several others. Singularity can be found in various fields, including robotics. Robotics is a field that combines computer science and transdisciplinary engineering. It entails the construction, maintenance, use, and operation of robots. Because robotics is based on computer science, some singularity is to be expected. Singularity in robotics refers to a condition in which some directions are barred by the robot's end effector. For example, any 6-axis robot arm or serial robot will have singularities. According to the American National Standards Institute, robot singularities occur when 2 or more robot axes are collinear. When this occurs, the robot's movements and speed remain undetermined. Singularity, for example, occurs when a badly programmed robot arm causes the robot to become imprisoned and stop working. There may come a time when humanity is able to develop a computer with artificial intelligence comparable to a person's cognitive and functional capacities. This may occur as a result of advancements that build on previous innovations. Following this, a period of relentless and irreversible growth may commence. Technological singularity enhances the possibility for inconceivable changes in human civilization. This could be the last invention created by humans. The outcome might be either catastrophic disaster or unprecedented affluence. 3 reasons contribute to the current alterations. The first is an increase in processing power. Approximately every 2 years, the number of transistors in densely integrated circuits doubles. This increases the hardware's computing capability. Graphic processing units, GPUs, were increased by 2-fold. As a result, parallel computing becomes more viable. Machines can find patterns in a wide range of data because to this vast computational capability, which includes better GPU parallel processing and cloud computing. The second thing that brings us closer to the singularity is the availability of labeled data. The Internet of Things, IoT, is making all of our things smarter in our networked environment. The online world monitors and records our whole activities. In summary, both humans and machines generate vast volumes of data, which is then stored online. This includes information about our shopping patterns, music and movie preferences, dining habits, and travel plans. We can store both structured and unstructured data. The availability of low-cost data storage systems and big data processing capabilities aids in interpreting this massive amount of tagged data. This data is used to train programs to recognize occurrences and improve their performance in a specific task. The third factor is a unique method of training programs. These developments are all interconnected, contributing to the resurgence of deep learning within the AI field. With access to vast amounts of data and substantial computing power, machines are increasingly capable of learning autonomously, primarily through reinforcement learning, a specialized branch of machine learning. Artificial neural networks enable programs to develop sophisticated algorithms without the need for manual coding. As a result, machine learning now powers many of today's most popular applications, including technologies that allow self-driving cars and the detection of cancer cells using X-rays, among many others. Given these rapid technological changes, what possibilities could the singularity bring? With their enormous computing capabilities and abilities to self-design and upgrade, superintelligent machines may continuously enhance their own intelligence, potentially leading to unprecedented advancements. The singularity's greatest threat is that it will turn against us and destroy all of humanity. Both robots and artificial intelligence represent an existential threat and an existential opportunity to surpass our limitations. According to the singularity, AI and robots both operate on a reward system. AI has no sense of good and wrong. It is programmed to achieve a goal, and if it does, it is duly rewarded. On the other hand, a superintelligence could devise whole new techniques for carrying out activities critical to our survival. Here we consider advancements in energy generation, transportation, housing, agriculture, and climate change mitigation. It might be difficult to define what is morally right. We progressively grow to grasp this by seeing our parents, siblings, friends, and society, and then we form our own opinions. The singularity could allow mankind to populate several worlds and attain physical prowess that we can't even imagine. It has the potential to usher in a period of unprecedented wealth around the world, but only if we can somehow control it. Is it possible that the singularity will cause changes to the human brain? We've already mentioned that there have been some attempts and AI offers some solutions. However, not all professionals are fully aware of the intricacy of the human brain. We have dreams and a subconscious mind. Humans also have empathy, awareness, and rational thought. Though machines will be able to exceed humans in math, will they be able to compete in these other human skills? We can't be certain because the singularity hasn't yet occurred. Also, when we look at governmental laws and human rights, such as those that improve citizen protection, prohibit the use of particular technologies, limit privacy, and empower citizens to more effectively combat crime, we might see a change, perhaps more negative one. It will also have an impact on leadership and management. This will most likely result in the government having more authority to regulate everything. This might be especially concerning if there is a dictatorship. The singularity would have complete control over everything. Law and order may shift as well. The economic systems may also be impacted by technological singularity. Humans will no longer be required to work. Robots will be capable of performing practically all tasks, and human roles in society will be affected. Economic changes will have an impact on the source of wealth as well. Money will most likely be replaced by another innovation due to the singularity, making money less significant. We can simply assume that singularity will play an important role in all aspects of our lives. By starting slowly with simple improvements, the singularity will only grow in power. As a result, specialists should take the initiative and devise a method to establish boundaries between AI and humans. Many scientists, such as Stephen Hawking, and renowned people, such as Elon Musk, regard singularity as a negative force that can have a significant detrimental impact on humanity. Kurzweil, on the other hand, believes that singularity can be a good transformation in which people will live in synthesis with machines. However, because the singularity is still a long way off, or perhaps not, we cannot make any claims just yet. Kurzweil projected that singularity would become a reality in 2045, aided by the AI breakthroughs we encounter on a daily basis. For the time being, we can only focus on the incredible progress we've made, which will give us with a fantastic new world to live in. So, do you see any similarities between your idea of merging the symbolic tradition of AI with these language models and the type of human feedback that is now being built into the systems? I mean, Greg Brockman says that we don't just look at projections, we continually provide input. Isn't that a form? A symbol of wisdom? You may conceive of it that way. It's noteworthy to note that no information about how it works are likely to be disclosed. So we don't know exactly what's in GPT-4. We don't know how big it is, how RLHF reinforcement learning works, or what other electronics are within. However, symbols are likely to be adopted gradually, but Greg would have to respond to that. I believe the main issue is that most of the knowledge in the neural network systems that we have now is represented as statistics between specific words, when the real knowledge that we need is statistics about relationships between entities in the environment. So it's now represented at the wrong grain level, and there's a massive bridge to cross. So what you get now is you have these guardrails, but they're not particularly reliable. I had an example that gained some attention recently. Someone asked, what would be the weight of the heaviest US president? This question confused the system, leading it to provide a convoluted explanation about how weight is a personal matter, and it's not appropriate to discuss individuals' weights, despite there being factual records about past presidents. Similarly, when asked about a hypothetical 7-foot-tall president, the system incorrectly stated that presidents of all heights have served, even though no president has ever been 7 feet tall. This shows that some AI-generated responses can miss the mark by being overly cautious or restrictive with certain topics, rather than providing straightforward, fact-based answers. What are you seeing out there right now? What trends or patterns do you notice? There's a real concern that people may perceive discussions like this as an attack, which could hinder the constructive synthesis we need to address these challenges. Are there any positive signs or indicators of progress? It's also interesting to note that Sundar Pichai, the CEO of Google, recently advocated for global governance of AI during an interview on CBS's 60 Minutes.
One of the critical technologies which will impact national security. Over time, I do think it's important to remember the technology will be available to most countries. And so I think over time, we would need to figure out global frameworks.
It seems even tech companies themselves are beginning to recognize the need for some form of regulation. While achieving global consensus will be challenging, there's a growing sense that we must take collective action, which could foster the kind of international cooperation I'm suggesting. Do you think organizations like the UN or individual countries can come together to regulate AI effectively, or will it require an extraordinary act of global goodwill to establish such a governing structure? How do you see this playing out? The threats posed by AI are not just hypothetical, they are very real and immediate. AI systems have the capacity to fabricate falsehoods, bypass safeguards, and operate on a massive scale that was unimaginable just a few years ago. This presents both exciting possibilities and significant dangers. The risk that malicious actors could use these tools to undermine trust in institutions, manipulate elections, or incite violence is a pressing issue that requires our attention now, not later. One of the most compelling illustrations of this threat is the concept of auto-GPT, which allows one AI system to govern another. This enables the automation of tasks with the potential to cause widespread harm. Consider a world in which millions of people are targeted by AI-powered frauds, disinformation campaigns, or other malevolent actions, all orchestrated by a network of AI systems working together. However, it is not only the technology that is at risk, it is also the manner we incentivize its development. Currently, much of AI development is driven by business interests that value speed and profit over safety and accuracy. This is why we require a new approach to AI governance that prioritizes accountability, openness, and global collaboration. As I previously stated, symbolic systems and neural networks are two distinct approaches to AI, both with merits and faults. Symbolic systems excel in clear reasoning and handling facts, but they are difficult to scale. Neural networks, on the other hand, are easier to scale and can learn from large amounts of data, but they struggle to understand reality and make reliable conclusions. To construct trustworthy AI systems, we must mix the best of both techniques. This entails creating AI capable of reasoning with the precision of symbolic systems while learning and adapting in the same way neural networks do. It's a difficult task, but not impossible. After all, the human brain performs something similar with its System 1 and System 2 processes, as explained by Daniel Kahneman. Even with the right technical approach, we must align AI development incentives with societal interests. This is when government comes in. We need a global, impartial, nonprofit organization to oversee AI development and ensure that it is done safely and ethically. This institution would need to bring together stakeholders from all across the world, including governments, businesses, scholars, and civil society. Many questions remain to be answered in terms of governance. For example, how can we ensure that AI systems are thoroughly tested and assessed before they are deployed at scale? In the pharmaceutical sector, clinical trials are used to ensure the safety of new pharmaceuticals. Could we create something similar for AI? Perhaps we should compel AI developers to create a safety case before deploying new systems, explaining potential dangers and advantages as well as how they would be handled. On the research side, we need to create new methods for measuring and mitigating the hazards of AI. For example, while we recognize that misinformation is an issue, we currently lack a method to measure how much misinformation exists or how quickly it spreads. We also do not sure how much huge language models contribute to this problem. Developing these technologies will necessitate a concentrated research effort, which must be funded by the international community. You have witnessed the growth of artificial intelligence. Many of you have probably spoken to a computer which understood you and responded to you. With such rapid advancement, it is not impossible to conceive that computers will eventually become as clever as, if not more intelligent than, humans. And it's easy to envision that when that happens, the influence of such artificial intelligence will be enormous. And you may wonder whether it is okay for technology to have such an impact, and my purpose here is to highlight the existence of a power that many of you may be unaware of, which gives me optimism that we will be pleased with the results. So, artificial intelligence, what is it and how does it function? It turns out that explaining how artificial intelligence works is relatively simple. Only one sentence. Artificial intelligence is nothing more than the digital brain found in mainframe computers. That is artificial intelligence. Every cool AI you've seen is built on this concept. For decades, scientists and engineers have been trying to figure out how a digital brain should work, as well as how to build and develop one. It's amazing to me that the biological brain is where humans get their intelligence from. The artificial brain serves as the seat of intelligence in artificial intelligence, which makes sense. When considering the development of artificial intelligence, one can't help but marvel at the potential to create machines that possess exceptional cognitive abilities. This endeavor not only advances technology, but also offers the potential to reveal deeper insights into concepts like awareness and cognition. Curiosity about the nature of intelligence itself has always been a driving force. In the late 1990s, it was clear that there was much that science had yet to uncover about how intelligence works, whether in humans or machines. The possibility that advancements in artificial intelligence could bring about significant change was evident even then. Although the future of AI remains uncertain, its potential impact is undeniable. With this understanding, the focus shifts back to artificial intelligence, or what can be termed digital brains, and the endless possibilities they present. Today, computerized brains are far less intelligent than biological brains. When you talk to an AI bot, you rapidly find that it doesn't know everything, but it does grasp the majority of it. However, it is evident that it is incapable of doing many tasks and has some unusual gaps. However, I feel that the problem is only transitory. As academics and engineers continue to work on AI, the digital brains that live inside our computers will eventually become as smart as, if not better than, our biological brains. Computers will be wiser than humans. We name such AI AGI, or artificial general intelligence, when we can assert that we can train AI to do anything, such as what I or someone else can do. So even though AGI does not yet exist, we can acquire some insight into its impact once it does. It is obvious that such an AGI will have a significant impact on every aspect of life, human activity, and society. and I want to swiftly review a problem. This is a limited illustration of a very broad technology. Healthcare is the example I'd want to present.
Creating tissue.
Many of you have tried to see a doctor before. Sometimes you have to wait months, and then when you go to see the doctor, you only have a little amount of time with the doctor, and the doctor, being only human, may have limited knowledge of all of this, all of the medical information that exists. At the end of the therapy, you will be given a large bill. So if you had an intelligent computer, an AGI, programmed to be a doctor, it would have complete knowledge of all medical literature. It will have billions of hours of clinical experience, and it will be widely available and inexpensive. When this occurs, we will view health in the same light that we did dentistry in the 16th century. You know, when they tied people up with these belts and drills, today's healthcare would be same. Again, this is only an example. AGI will have a profound and amazing impact on all aspects of human endeavor. However, when you observe such a significant influence, you may ask, my God, is this technology so powerful? And yes, for every positive application of AGI, there will be a terrible application. This technology will also vary from other technologies in that it will be capable of self-improvement. It is conceivable to create an AGI that will function with the next generation of AGI. The analogy we have with this huge technological discovery is the Industrial Revolution, when humanity and the material conditions of human civilization were very, very stable. Then there was an upsurge, a quick expansion. With AGI, the same thing may happen again, but faster. Furthermore, there are fears that if an AGI grows extremely powerful, which is possible, it may choose to go rogue because it is an agent. This is an existential worry with this unparalleled technology. And when you look at all of AGI's positive potential and related possibilities, you could think, my God, where is all of this going? The key to remember is that because AI and AGI are the only areas of the economy that are generating a lot of enthusiasm, there are a lot of labs around the world working on the same project. Even if OpenAI takes the appropriate steps, what about the rest of the industry in the world? And this is where I'd want to make an observation about the force of existence. The observation is this: think about the world a year ago or more recently. People don't really discuss AI in the same manner. What happened? We've all had the experience of communicating with a computer and being understood. The belief that computers will become fully intelligent and eventually smarter than humans is gaining popularity. It used to be a niche concept that only a few enthusiasts, hobbyists, and people who were deeply engaged in AI would consider, but now many are considering it. As AI advances and technology develops, it will become clearer what it can do and where it is headed. AGI will grow great and worry as much as is necessary, and I believe that individuals will begin to act in unprecedented cooperative ways for their own self-interest. It happened now. The leading AGI firms are beginning to work in one specific area through the Frontier Model Forum. To ensure the security of AIs, we anticipate that competitive organizations will communicate technology specs. We can see the government doing this. There is a strong belief that AGI has the potential to bring about significant, possibly dramatic changes. One of the emerging ideas is that as technological advances bring us closer to achieving AGI, the approach should not be one of competition, but rather cooperation with these advanced systems. The reasoning behind this is that embracing collaboration with intelligent machines might better serve humanity's interest, especially given the transformative potential of AGI. As AI capabilities improve and its potential becomes more evident, those leading AI and AGI initiatives, as well as those working on them, are likely to reconsider their perspectives on AI, leading to a shift in collective behavior and attitudes toward these technologies. Now, turning our attention once again to the singularity, we must address the implications it holds for future economic dynamics. It's tempting to get caught up in the hype around AI and envisage a world where everything is abundant and everyone's demands are addressed. However, even in a future governed by superintelligent AI, certain resources will remain scarce. Even with AI's tremendous intelligence, some physical resources will be restricted. Desirable and fertile land, clean drinking water, and precious minerals are examples of resources that AI cannot simply produce more of. While artificial intelligence may aid in the discovery of new ways to manage these resources, such as enhanced recycling or space mining, their underlying scarcity will endure. On the other hand, the singularity is likely to result in an abundance of knowledge, information, and cognitive labor. AI will outperform human intelligence, making most of our cognitive work irrelevant. This does not imply that humans will become obsolete. Rather, our role in problem solving and invention will shift radically. AI may solve issues at previously unfathomable speeds and scales, ushering in an era of copious and easily accessible information for all. With an abundance of cognitive work, we may anticipate rapid technological progress. AI has the ability to open up new possibilities in high-energy physics, biology, and material science. For example, nuclear fusion, which has eluded scientists for decades, could become a reality with AI's assistance. The ramifications of achieving nuclear fusion are significant, providing a nearly endless supply of energy that might revolutionize every part of society. Even after the singularity, there will remain problems that AI cannot handle or that require more than computing capacity. These include the difficult issues of consciousness, fundamental questions about existence, and the meaning of life. These are not problems that can be solved using algorithms or statistics. They necessitate a level of human comprehension, interpretation, and subjective experience that AI may never achieve. AI may help us understand the cosmos better, but even the most advanced algorithms will never be able to solve all riddles. The nature of consciousness, for example, may never be fully known by robots. This raises a critical question: what happens when AI approaches its limits? Will we, as humans, continue to seek answers to these important issues, or will we allow AI to do the thinking for us? Mind uploading, or the transfer of human consciousness into a computer form, is one of the most contentious theories linked with the singularity. While this idea may appeal to some, it raises serious ethical and philosophical concerns. Can a digital replica of a person really be deemed the same as the original? Is it possible to express the essence of awareness in code? If so, what happens to the human experience? These are questions that may go unsolved as we push the boundaries of AI. One of the most immediate consequences will be for jobs and occupations. Most jobs as we know them now will become obsolete. AI will outperform humans in practically every cognitive task, causing a fundamental shift in how we perceive labor, purpose, and success. In a world where AI performs the majority of cognitive activities, what would humans do? Some argue that we will change our priorities to creativity, exploration, and self-improvement. Instead of working to live, we might pursue our passions and interests. Education systems may also adapt to place a greater emphasis on individual abilities and interests rather than set curriculums. Imagine a school system in which each student's education is tailored to their own strengths and passions, allowing them to excel in ways that traditional education systems cannot. As occupations become less important, we may see the rise of new social institutions. Multi-generational houses, co-living communities, and eco-villages may become more prevalent as people seek new ways to connect and find meaning in their lives. The emphasis may move from economic success to personal fulfillment and social connection, resulting in a society in which the quest of happiness is prioritized over the chase of wealth. While the singularity promises a brighter future, it also poses enormous hazards and obstacles. One of the most serious concerns is the creation and control of artificial intelligence. As AI becomes more powerful, the possibility of misuse increases. There are two main failure modes: losing control of AI, which might lead to an AI-driven catastrophe, and permitting the wrong people to govern AI, resulting in widespread subjection and oppression. Ensuring that AI remains under human control presents a huge hurdle. As AI gets increasingly independent, the possibility of it acting in ways that are incompatible with human values grows. As AI technology advances, many experts advocate for tougher laws and safety precautions. However, governing artificial intelligence is easier said than done. The rapid development of AI makes it difficult for regulators to keep up. And implementing these standards on a worldwide scale is another difficulty entirely. Another big problem is how AI's benefits are distributed. Will the singularity's advancements be available to everybody, or will they be hoarded by the wealthy and powerful? History has demonstrated that when resources are few, people in authority prefer to amass them, frequently at the expense of others. If artificial intelligence leads to a society in which money and resources are even more concentrated in the hands of a few, widespread inequality and societal instability may ensue. Corporations are inherently profit-driven. As AI gets more integrated into the business sector, there is a risk that companies will utilize it to boost profits at the expense of workers and society as a whole. We may envision a future in which companies are more dominant than ever, with AI allowing them to run with minimum human interaction. This could result in a future in which the rich become wealthier, while the rest of society fights to keep up. AI development does not happen in a vacuum. It is part of a broader global panorama that includes geopolitical tensions, cultural divides, and the possibility of conflict. The world's nations' decision to collaborate or not in the development and deployment of AI will have a huge impact on the future. On the one hand, artificial intelligence has the ability to bring nations closer together, encouraging global cooperation and collaboration. On the other hand, the rush to create the most advanced AI may result in increased competitiveness and violence, particularly among the world's superpowers. The threat of an AI weapons race is real, and the implications could be catastrophic. Trauma politics, or the premise that leaders with unresolved trauma can project their sorrow onto the world, complicates the global AI environment. Leaders who have been through considerable trauma may employ AI to exert control and oppression rather than for the development of humanity. This could lead to a world in which artificial intelligence is exploited to impose authoritarian authority rather than foster freedom and democracy. Perhaps we'll see new forms of government arise. Some believe that we will evolve toward a more global type of governance, with AI playing an important part in decision-making. However, this is unlikely to occur overnight. Cultural differences, language hurdles, and historical grievances must be resolved before any kind of global administration can be established. Meanwhile, we may witness the creation of regional alliances and unions, similar to the European Union, that collaborate to manage AI's impact on society. Not long ago, I had a meaningful conversation with my parents. They were reflecting on their lives and marveling at the incredible changes that have taken place over the past few decades. For younger people, it can be difficult to grasp just how far humanity has come, and honestly, it's sometimes hard for me to understand too. Their stories took me back to a time when the world was fundamentally different, like in 1978, the year they got married. Back then, my father worked as a mechanic, fixing cars that, by today's standards, were simple machines. In the late 1970s, cars were mostly mechanical, with very little electronic technology involved. They knew a world where technology was starting to take off, but was still limited by today's standards. Fast forward to now, and I'm fascinated by artificial intelligence, AI, and other groundbreaking technologies that are beyond their realm of experience. My father, bless him, still imagines the cloud as something to do with storing files in the sky. It's a humbling reminder of how much the world has transformed. Reflecting on these changes led me to think about humanity's timeline and the rapid pace of technological advancement. When we look at some of the most revolutionary inventions, like the plow, the steam locomotive, the telephone, the radio, the personal computer, and more recent breakthroughs such as quantum computing, blockchain, and CRISPR gene editing, we see a clear pattern. The gaps between these innovations are getting shorter and shorter. The speed of technological progress has accelerated dramatically, especially in the last few decades. If we visualize this, we'd see that the majority of these groundbreaking innovations happened recently. The more we go back in time, the fewer these inventions become. Tens of thousands of years ago, life was rather unchanging. Whether you lived in 500 BC or 800 BC, little has changed over the years. Today, however, a decade or two might result in massive shifts. Consider this. Just 10 or 15 years ago, smartphones were uncommon, social media was in its early stages, and artificial intelligence was still a distant concept. One of the most exciting elements of technological advancement is its exponential growth. Consider the smartphone in your pocket, for instance. It's not just a phone, but a supercomputer. If you went back only 20 years, your smartphone's computing capacity would have made it the most powerful supercomputer in the world, costing millions of dollars and filling entire rooms. But what exactly does it imply when we claim progress is exponential? Consider charting progress on the y-axis against time on the x-axis. Typically, technological advancement follows an S-curve, slow beginning growth, rapid acceleration, and then plateauing. But here's the kicker. The following technological cycle begins at a greater level than the prior. Each generation of technology adds to the previous one, resulting in a recursive, self-improving compounding effect. This is why technological advancement can appear to surge out of nowhere. Now, humans are not predisposed to understand exponential expansion. Nothing in our evolutionary history has developed at an exponential rate. When our forefathers hunted animals, the speed of the prey did not rise exponentially. Therefore, our brains developed to think linearly. This discrepancy results in what I refer to as the exponential gap, the difference between our linear projections and the actual exponential reality. The Human Genome Project serves as a classic example. It was launched in 1990 with the goal of decoding the human genome, but only 1% of it had been accomplished after 7 years. Critics projected that it would take 700 years to complete. But they were mistaken. Exponential expansion began, and the project was completed in 2003. Today, you can have your genome sequenced for a few $100, a task that was previously thought to be impossible in our lifetime. Bill Gates summed it up perfectly. We always overestimate the change that will occur in the next 2 years and underestimate the change that will occur in the next 10 years. This knowledge applies not only to technological processes, but also to our overall sense of progress. The concept of technological singularity is both intriguing and terrifying. Consider compressing the advances we've made over the last century into a single year or even a second. It's nearly unthinkable, yet it's a possibility we should explore. The first to identify this pattern was John von Neumann, one of the 20th century's most significant mathematicians. He predicted that the ever-increasing speed of technological advancement would eventually lead to the end of human affairs as we know them. This singularity, if it occurs, would signify a profound shift in humanity's trajectory. However, the negative effects, such as social instability, dangers to democracy, and even the fundamental nature of what it means to be human, are equally severe. Even if the singularity remains a theoretical concept, the very possibility of its occurring is reason enough for us to begin discussing it now. We live in remarkable times, and I'm already looking forward to having this talk with my future grandchildren. Will they be as surprised by the changes in their lives as my grandparents were by theirs? Only time will tell. Finally, our interaction with AI and other sources of authority should be one of active engagement rather than passive acceptance. We must be willing to explore ideas, recognize their limitations, and build upon them. This is not an easy path, but it is the only way to ensure that we maintain control over our destiny rather than becoming slaves to the very technologies we create. The stories of AI, the Sokal hoax, and Hegel and Lacan's philosophical ideas all point to one common theme: the importance of critical contact with sources of knowledge and authority in our lives. As AI improves, we must exercise caution, analyzing its outputs and the motivations behind them. The dialectic approach offers a way forward by encouraging us to actively engage with ideas, examine them, and broaden our understanding. Critical thinking is more necessary than ever in a society where information is abundant but usually untrustworthy. By employing the dialectic, we may navigate the complexities of the modern world, ensuring that we retain control over our future rather than being dominated by the technologies we create. The path to true knowledge is tough, but it is required if we are to reach our full potential as individuals and a society.